So in the past, I've been accused of being too hard on these Nintendo Indie World presentations, so for this event, I went in with a completely open mind. I expected nothing. I expected none of these games to sort of appeal to me, even though they're doing an online presentation at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Tuesday, so who are they trying to appeal to if that's the case? But that's neither here nor there. I was going in with a clear mind, a clear conscience with this Nintendo Indie World presentation. So how did it turn out? Was there anything that I liked, and was there anything that you liked? That's what we're going to find out in this video. So if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. But without any further ado, let's just hop into the games, baby. Shantae Advance. Risky Revolution kicked things off. This is a Game Boy Advance game that was never completed on original Game Boy Advance hardware, but is now coming to the Nintendo Switch. And I think this looks really good, honestly. Like, I like Shantae games. I think they're super well done. There's kind of been a barrage of Shantae games over the past, decade or so, but I'm cool with it. It looks really good. 2D action platformer with combat thrown in there. You whip your hair. There's a 4-player battle mode that they're adding into the game. Not too shabby here. It's got some potential. I think it's one of the better games potentially of this presentation. Comes out in 2024. The next game up was a game called Coree Keeper. It is a simulation style game where you gather resources, fight enemies, craft tools, and yes, there's even crops to grow. We got our first farming simulation game. 2 games into this. I'm just kidding. I love farming sims. It does look kind of neat though. The combat looks all right, kind of that top-down Diablo-esque style. And there is 8-player online multiplayer in this as well, so you could team up with some friends, and 8 people, that's quite a few people. Comes out in summer 2024. Next up was a game called On Your Tail, a game where everyone is, I think they're a cat or a rodent. I can't really tell, but I can feel my allergies already getting out of control. It is a life sim game with some mystery and puzzle solving. Who is this mysterious character that's following you around? I don't know. You'll have to find out when it comes out in 2024, because this isn't really an RGT game. Next up was a game called Howl, H-O-W-L. It is a turn-based game with a minimalistic art style where you play as someone who is deaf, and you basically have to plan out your plans all in one shot. So you're trying to get to a certain portion of the area of the map that you see, and you have to map it out all in one thing. So if you want to go up, down, left, right, you have to do that all in one shot. Not a game for me, but Howl does come out today if you want to check it out. Next up, we got Campfire, we got Exploration, we have the star named Enos, a puzzle-driven narrative adventure. You take pics of the world around you, find out about your mom's absence. I guess you went to the store to get a pack of cigarettes and never came back. You step back in time and discover things, and I'm just not, I just can't. Narrative games, a lot of them, the stories just don't hit with me because they don't really resonate with me. And I think that's kind of one of the things about this, but it's fine. The star named Enos comes out in spring of 2024. If you ever wanted to be a hero, what about a backpack hero? It's a roguelike deck builder. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of roguelike games. You rebuild your hometown with the loot you found in the dungeon. But honestly, I kind of like the concept, because the concept for the combat is you're having to reorganize a backpack, kind of like you handled your inventory in the original Resident Evil 4. And I don't know, there was something very satisfying. I hated it at the time, but looking back on it, there was something so satisfying about, organizing your attaché case and just making it perfect. So I don't know, it looks all right. Backpack Hero is a game that is out today. Next up was a game called Blade Chimera, and honestly, this game looked pretty cool. Cyberpunk dystopian future, a 2D action platformer game. You have a demon blade, which allows you to rebuild pieces of the stage that have been removed. I like this. It kind of has a bit of a, as far as the combat is concerned, kind of a little bit of a Symphony of the Night sort of thing with the main character and his blade is what I kind of felt from that. There are similar games out there, games like Dex that are already out there, but hey, you always can use some more cyberpunk dystopian games. Comes out in spring 2024, probably one of the highlights of the show for me. A Highland Song was the next game up. They kept saying the word come a lot, and I kept laughing because I'm a child, but I was like, I'm coming, and it's like, okay. It's a game about exploring the mountains of Scotland. You play as a young lady. There's some rhythm elements. There's some challenging climbs. You have to reach the sea, and there's multiple paths. And I know exactly what you're saying. RGT hates this game, but I'm going to hit you with the curveball here. Something about this game, I liked it. I don't know what it was. Like, maybe it's the idea and the premise or something like that. Because I'm not really a fan of rhythm games. Like, I'll play them, but it's not my preferred genre. But something about this game, I don't know, it just kind of clicked with me, and I was like, you know what, I kind of want to play this. And I still don't really know why. Maybe it's the multiple paths and stuff like that. That's kind of cool, but I don't know. But whatever it is, a Highland Song kind of hit with me a little bit. Comes out on December 5th. Did it hit with you though? Let me know in the comments down below. But before you let me know, you got to talk about Moonstone Island, the life sim deck builder creature collecting game. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, person. They have included everything into this. All your favorite genres all mixed into one. They definitely stole the slimes from Dragon Quest in this trailer. Like, there's a slime character that's clearly the slime from Dragon Quest, and there's some farming elements in this game too. I can't wait to not play Moonstone Island in spring of 2024, but maybe you're looking forward to it. What about Death Trick, Double Blind? A magician in a circus goes missing, and you become a sleuth with a private eye and a magician. You investigate, you combine clues, you play from like both perspectives, and you have to, of the investigator and the private eye investigator and the magician. So, like, you know, you have to combine your clues and stuff like that. Not a horrible premise idea. Looks okay. Comes out in 2024. And then we get Starfield. Starfield is officially coming to the Nintendo oh wait, no, it's just the Outer Wilds. Now, the Outer Wilds was announced a very long time ago is coming to the Switch. It's a cool looking game, and I don't hate it, but like for me, it's like this has been out for several years on other platforms. I think this might have been an Xbox One and PS4 game. I'm pretty sure it was. And, you know, between stuff like Starfield, between stuff like No Man's Sky, like how many big open world space adventures, you know, do we need? I'm not trying to discredit this game or anything. I'm sure it has its loyal fan base, but I don't know. Seems kind of weird that this wasn't canceled, because I feel like a lot of people thought it wasn't canceled. Comes out on December 7th. A physical edition also is releasing in 2024. So, you know, hey. And then we get a Sizzle Reel. Out of all of the games here, I wrote down two that I thought were interesting. The Gecko Gods looked kind of cool. It's like a game where you play as a gecko, but it's not like Chameleon Twist, because that would have been dope. You know, Chameleon Twist is super underrated. But, like, it's cool. You know, you play as a gecko, and it's kind of like a pseudo 3D-ish action platformer game. And then a game called Passepartout 2. I don't really know what was going on here, but, like, you painted pictures of people, and, like, if they liked them, they gave you money. I don't really know what's going on with that. And then that's it. That's it. We're ending on a Sizzle Reel. So no Hollow Knight stuff. No this, that, or the other. You know, I didn't hate it, but I always say kind of the same thing with this. Like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of this presentation? Because the people that are watching YouTube actively, you know, they're the ones that are kind of in touch with like what's sort of coming out or what's on the horizon for some of these games. And I feel like, you know, I look at it like this. If PlayStation put on an event like that, or Xbox put on an event like that, I probably wouldn't have liked it. So I don't know why people get so mad at me when Nintendo does it and I'm not a fan of it, because, you know, a lot of these Nintendo diehard fans would say the same thing about a PlayStation event that happened that was done like this, or an Xbox event. Like, this tribalism is just weird. But, you know, there were some decent takeaways from it, but I'm not even going to tell you how I felt about it overall. You know, I'm not going to tell you how I felt about the pacing. I want you to tell me, did you enjoy that show? Did you think this show was a must-watch banger? You learned about new games that made you excited for your Nintendo Switch system from indie developers. Did this hit the check marks for you? I want to know your opinion, because my opinion is just as valid as your opinion. So you let me know in the comment section down below. Was this a good presentation or a bad presentation? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, check out other videos on the channel. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.